like my tracksuit?
I wasn't wearing track pants.
I'm wearing my white tracksuit. I look like I'm fresh off the Coke deal. I need a gold chain, and I could totally look like a mobster or something. So here we are. Back
We went
for
from
more.
squeal like a pig to mafia tracksuits. Welcome to SlashU. You.
It's another week here at the U.
Yeah, sorry we missed you guys last week. Obviously, I had the coughs, which turned out to be the COVID. Testing negative now.
Yeah, I'm happy that you sound great. I don't think you've coughed once since I got here.
I have not
Go ahead
coughed.
and do it. Cough now. Do it. There.
Oh, gross. I noticed my microphone doesn't smell like stale beer and
Oh,
cheese
that's good.
anymore. Now it smells like coffee and feet.
Okay. Coffee
Weird.
and feet.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I got this weird thing. Hey, and you got a second?
I do.
Number one, it's good to see you.
It's great to see you too.
What a week of COVID. And then we live in an area of Milwaukee called Bayview. Mm-hmm. Beautiful little neighborhood in the South City along the lake.
Mm-hmm. A view of the bay, if you will.
View of the bay.
Yeah.
View of the bay. View of the Oh, yeah. Yeah, the
called
East
Bayview.
Campus. Bayview.
Yeah.
Bayview. Well, if we had a podcast about Bayview, Bayview U. That'd be like a cool song. Bayview U. I want to Bayview U. Hey, but anyway,
Yeah.
it's a city.
It is.
Things happen.
Like a lot of cities.
So I guess the Kia boys attacked our house, and we got them all on video and just spoke to a cop. Andy was here, students of the U.
Yeah.
Pretty depressing because the cops just looked at us and say, dude, we're city cops. We have no resources when it comes to crimes like what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was saying the staffing is such that they got to put it all into violent crime, and that property crime is kind of a back burner.
Yep.
Just because there
It
isn't.
sucks.
Yeah, there isn't enough cops, staffing, and the punishments are nothing.
Yeah, and he started bringing up politics. I was like, whoa, okay. I know because
Yeah.
we have our liberal signs out front. I'm like, oh, shit.
He might as well have said, you should vote for somebody who's going to punish these kids. It's like, well, why can't we just demand that of the people we've already voted for? You
I know.
Ask some questions there. These doggone bleeding heart lefties ain't going to punish these kids.
They just let them go.
He didn't say that, but he was leaning in that direction.
But-
yeah, so
I did want to say, don't you know who I'm? Nick Bankhead, co-host of SlashU.
you wanted to say that?
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, can you do something more?
Doesn't that give me a little more sway?
Don't
here,
you know who I
officer?
am?
Yeah.
I am fucking Nick Bankhead.
I am local celebrity
We have-
Nick Bankhead.
We have 12 listeners, 2 in Ireland.
Yes, and I have like numerous podcast Emmy awards. No, we don't.
And he
Is that a
just looked
thing?
at me
Yeah.
and almost put me in handcuffs.
He was like, "Sir, are you on PCP right now?"
Hands behind your back.
Yeah, right.
I'm Nick Bankhead, damn it. Hey, well, welcome to SlashU. Enough about the crazy craze.
Yeah.
Some good news coming out for any hockey fans out there. The Milwaukee Admirals, our AHL team, minor league team to the Nashville Predators. I wish we had a hockey podcast because we could talk about it for days. 19 wins in a row.
That's pretty amazing.
I mean, the record, we now hold the record for the most
Yeah.
for the most wins, consecutive wins in a row, second.
Wow.
First being, I think it was the 2011 season, Norfolk Admirals. They
Yeah.
still have the Admirals name. 28 games in a row.
Whoa!
If
So
we
the
get-
ad's got a little ways to go to catch
And
that.
I actually looked at the schedule. 29, they'll be playing the Colorado Eagles for game 29. If they,
I attended that 14th in a row with you.
yes.
That was fun.
Yes.
Because you kept yelling 14.
And now I got to go in there and go 19.
Yeah. I
I
hope
fucking
she's
yelled it right
19.
before. I yelled it right before the Star Spangled Banner or whatever, and I got I got a couple yips.
That's good.
Because this time there was the artists, because folks of the U, students of the U, sometimes at Admirals games, they after the game they'll bring on
A band or a group. Yeah, yeah.
They had Tesla.
No kidding.
Signs everywhere, sign,
Yeah.
and some other shit. Then the next week they had
We
Cheap
went to
Trick.
Cheap Trick.
Cheap Trick was
Yep.
there, you know. I want
Yep.
you to want. And then today, or last night, they had someone I didn't know. I guess he's a country star called Jackson Dean.
Sure. Jackson Dean.
Yeah. I
He's,
love my
people-
pickup trucks and girls
People
and
know his
fucking
brother Jimmy
trucks.
Dean a lot more.
The sausage?
He's a sausage guy. Yeah.
You're my sausage guy.
Thanks.
Wink, wink.
Okay.
Hey, so what do we do here at SlashU? We
Right.
just talk. We've
just
given
chat.
up.
We don't. We talk
don't-
about current events.
We don't talk about
We
movies
talk
anymore.
about car break-ins and how the cops can't do anything about it.
And hockey.
And hockey.
And yoga pants.
AHL hockey.
AHL.
Not even Major League Hockey or whatever it's
AHL.
called.
Yeah.
Major League Hockey, right?
Yeah,
MLH, isn't that the big one?
Yeah. WHL.
Yeah, oh, okay.
One more thing real quick, too. Province Bruins, the AHL team of the Boston Bruins.
Okay.
Won a game 3-2. All 3 goals that they scored shorthanded.
Oh.
That is very unique, in my opinion.
That's,
so, again,
that's like not a normal thing.
we don't want to just,
Everybody's
cause
tuning
any
out.
disarray or to make anyone bum. But again, we're done with horror movies.
Yeah.
Want us to talk about something? Give us a subject. Hit us up on
Yeah.
Instagram. Now it's just going to be whatever you.
Yeah, whatever you podcast. Whatever you.
Whatever you.
People like insult us. We just go, whatever you. You jerk face now. This is episode 136.
136 from 2011.
Yeah.
1 hour, 33 minutes.
Chromeskull, Laid to Rest Part 2.
Chromeskull!
I gotta we do have at least one additional listener. A good friend of my wife, Julia, picked us up. Started listening at 1:35, I heard. Because my dear wife Cheryl said, "Hey, my friend Julia picked up your podcast." So shout out to Julia. Thanks for.
So her first episode was the
Her
Laid to
first
Rest?
episode was a week. The last one,
Oh, that was...
whatever. The
Sightseers.
Sightseers. Yeah, for Valentine's
Hello,
Day.
fish and chips.
Yeah, here we are, fish and chips.
Let's talk about fish and chips.
Where they have the English people have a form of Tourette's, where they always
Hello,
just say
and today you'll be
fish and
seeing
chips.
Big Bean, and then we'll go get a fish and chips pint at the local tavern. No,
So
hey,
shout out, thanks for listening.
yes, always love picking up new listeners. Hit us up if there's anything you ever want to talk about.
We're gonna pick up a ton of new listeners this fall.
Oh yeah, we're going to a con.
We're going to a convention.
And if you're in the Midwest and close to Peoria, Illinois, on September 14th, 2024, join SlashU at Horror Fiesta.
We're going to Horror Fiesta.
Dude, Andy, they've got some of the premier, and I'm
I'm gonna
talking.
wear a bloody sombrero at Horror Fiesta and get some nachos.
They've got so many huge stars. Can I just
You
tell
looking
you
at
a
the
couple
website?
of them?
Sure.
Terry Pardica.
Ooh, what would we know Terry from?
Hot, the woman in the room, beneath us all, descend. Candace Rose, Stranger Things, season 4.
Oh.
Halloween ends, She-Hulk, attorney at law.
Oh, really? She was in She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a show.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And then
you can get it on Disney Plus.
Then we got some,
You've never seen She-Hulk? It's a good girl power show.
oh, rad.
It's funny too. I
Justin
liked it.
Rose, he's...
Guy number 1 in CSI Miami, episode 330. Right? I don't know. Something like that. We don't want to make fun of the people headlining Horror Fiesta, but we are going to go. We're going to have a table there.
number 1.
I don't know. We're going to have a table there
We're gonna have some fun.
in September. So
It's in Illinois. We'll have free weed. Come hang out at the booth. We'll get you high.
get pumped now for a trip to Peoria.
Get pumped with get pumped with SlashU. Hey, so back to Laid to
Chromeskull,
Rest 2,
yeah.
Chromeskull. I want to let you know this one is tasty.
How so?
Well,
What's your define tasty for me?
I believe that Chromeskull he missed out on the opportunity. Richard Hall, of course, no longer with us.
Robert Hall.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This had the opportunity to go somewhere like a franchise, like
were
evil
working
fucking
on it.
villains that
Yeah.
like Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, Donald Trump. I mean, like you could think of any nefarious fucking
People that
spirit.
just won't go away.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
matter what you do to them.
Seriously.
Son of a bitch.
Anything you do to them. But don't you see what I'm saying? Because we do spoil everyone. Just like we spoil. We give everything away. Follow us on Instagram /U_podcast.
Right.
All that good stuff. Like us, follow us, spread the wealth or spread the love.
Leave us a
about
review.
SlashU. Leave us a review.
Yeah, that really helps.
I forgot. Had to get
helps
it up.
boost us.
But
Give us a thumbs
anyway,
up.
Chromeskull. I mean, because the killings too, Andy. In this episode,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about some great kills. I mean, of course, we still have our dick shot kills, but I'm going to go ahead and say this: every other kill, I'm just going to say it. It's an honorable mention. Honorable mention, dick shot kill of the week.
I agree. There's so many good ones, and you're right. We pick our favorites, but
They could have done so much with Chrome.
all-
This Chrome fucker. This movie, Andy, is like if you wanted to make a sequel to the first Laid to Rest. But you had a big boner for the stars of 90210. So you wanted to make a sequel, and you reached out to Brian Austin Green, and this is what that movie's like.
I agree.
Who are you texting?
Nobody.
All right.
The cops to come back and check your car. No, it was. I agree.
Brian Austin
Brian
Green.
Austin Green's in this, and
He does a great job.
he's amazing.
I can't believe it. Like, I want to reach out to him.
Yeah, is he in more roles like this?
I mean, he does a great.
He's really good.
I'm gonna hit him up on Insta and go, "Hey, man, I'm Nick Bankhead from fucking."
Perhaps you've heard of me. I'm Nick Bankhead.
Perhaps you heard
from world-renowned podcast and
SlashU.
making fun of Canadians.
SlashU. People want to rat. Like, I mean, he does a. It's worth watching this. I would definitely recommend watching this movie.
You also don't have to watch the first one if you don't want to.
No, you don't. You don't. You can get.
It helps.
You can get a. Oh, Andy just texted me. Hold on.
Who are you texting?
No, yeah. I thought it was you.
No,
I'm putting my phone away.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to use it for IMDb stuff. But continue.
Yes. This is like realizing that you don't have to watch the first movie.
Yeah.
It does help.
Yeah.
I mean, but they do give you flashbacks and smells of what happens. Like, for instance, the girl who was in the first one, she's obviously played by a different character wearing a wig to make her look like the girl.
Yeah, it's a different actress.
Yes,
right,
because I guess Robert Holland, the previous, because they were dating. That's how she.
in the first movie.
I think it was kind of like, it's not nepotism, but it's something where, you know, hey, you want the role, like what Rob Zombie does with his wife.
Sure.
You know,
Tim Burton with
there you go. Like, you'll be in everything I do.
Yeah, with Johnny Depp.
Yes.
Yeah, Tim Burton and
Johnny Depp. Wink, wink. Shuffle, shuffle. Giggle, giggle.
And Helena Bonham Carter.
Bonham. So anyway, I wonder, Andy, before we get into, you know, we what we do here at SlashU, we talk about the movie.
Right. We're gonna spoil the whole thing, by the way.
Yeah. What do you think his mask smells like? Like, if you were to take my guess, sweat, glue, and cheese.
Sweat, glue, and cheese?
Yeah.
Why cheese, though?
I don't know. I bet it's just a funky cheese.
Yeah, there's probably some sweat smell in there.
Because the sweat would contribute to it.
Yeah, but it's a chrome mask, so does it clean easily? It's chrome plated. We learned that. Because if it was solid chrome, it'd be too heavy to, like, stay on his face.
That's a good call. I never thought about that.
They touched on that a little bit.
Anyway,
so
we're gonna take this. We'll smell it for you.
Yeah,
we don't want you to have to smell it.
Here.
But why don't we go ahead, and get into Andy's Cliff Kill Lil Notes brought to you by Glue. If you want something to stick, or if you want to smell something and get high, reach out and grab some glue. And now, Andy, don't call him Chrome Face Junior. Demos, it's Cliff Kill Lil Notes.
Oh, surprised you didn't cough at the end of that. Nice job.
I feel great.
Thanks for sponsoring Glue. The Cliff Kill Notes, brief summary of the movie, so you can follow along in case you didn't watch it. But go watch it. It's out there on Tubi and Amazon, I bet, and Plex and all these other free ones. I watched it on Tubi. So the story of Chromeskull's killing spree continues right where it left off. This is a part 2.
Like Adam Green.
The girl got away with Tommy at the end of the last movie, and it seems Chromeskull was left for dead as the cops rolled up to Moreland's general store. Remember all that?
Yep.
But things keep getting curiouser and curiouser when we find out Chromeskull isn't working alone. He's got help, and they're going to get him right back into tip-top killing shape so he can keep on doing what he loves. That's it. I don't want to spoil too much in the Cliff Kill Notes.
This one, like Andy said, had a cool start. It's like literally leaving off where the last movie ended, very much like the Adam Green style, like in all of his hatchets. I mean, it's just right where it left off.
Yeah.
And as we talked about, the girl was obviously replaced. The story begins, but this movie, it has like so many components of. Here's my question.
I got some questions too.
The cops were there at the scene.
Right. They were looking at all the bodies.
So here comes, like this is now, like, we learned that Chrome Face runs like a conglomerate, a company, an incorporation, an LLC, if you will.
Yeah.
That is based around his killings.
It's very strange. He has a whole organization backing him. Yeah.
And obviously this man is, I mean, he's obviously has to be loaded to fly in doctors, to take care. I mean, so we get all that. Okay, co-host Nick, we get it. He's fucking got money. how did they get into the cops? I mean, maybe they were just small town cops, and you could have come in and said, "Hey, I'm with a local organization. Okay, we're just here at the store. We're just kind of going through. Never seen anything like this here around Moreland's General Store."
Yeah.
So, if I'm not making sense, I apologize.
You're really not.
There are cops at the scene.
Yeah.
How is Brian Austin Green's team, Preston?
Yeah.
We're going to call him Preston. That's his name.
Yep.
His team is there too. The cops don't seem to care.
I don't know.
I hear shots at one point.
Yeah.
Like, do they kill the cops?
I think they killed the cops, but we didn't really see that. But yeah, I think his team rolled up to, extricate Chromeskull, and
That's exactly
they wiped
what
out
they
the
do.
police force. I didn't count those kills because I didn't really know who all got shot and how many.
I wouldn't either. That's a good call. But it is like a killing conglomerate.
Yeah.
James
like
Chromeo. What's
the John Wick of killers.
Yeah.
You remember?
I don't. Never seen.
You watch John Wick? So John Wick 1 is a pretty loner movie. Like, it's John Wick, like just Keanu Reeves. After the guys kill his dog and take his car, he goes on a revenge spree. But part 2 expands the universe. You learn that he was an assassin that's part of an organization, and there's a hotel with a secret coin that they use, and it's it just evolves from there. And there's a part 3 and a part 4. Kind of how this movie, it was a rich guy who had some gadgets who did some killings, and now we learn he's got a whole fucking team backing him with an ambulance and top-notch medical care. And where did all this come from?
Exactly, but that's a good analogy. Again, someone who's never seen John Wick, so I get it now.
Oh, you love animals.
Yeah,
and
I
think that you would completely back that character.
Oh, cool.
His dog gets killed and he just goes off.
If anybody did that, I'd be John Nick instead of John Wick.
It's astounding. So anyway,
again. That's what Andy and I were talking about. The police are on this scene.
Yeah.
At this store where the first movie left off. Brian Austin Green pulls up Preston. This is where we hear shots, and this is where Andy and I were talking about. Are the cops that were there killed?
I think so.
Because the team that is there for Chromeskull, they save him.
Yeah.
They realize that there's a missing phone.
Yeah. They have a whole protocol. Preston says, follow a C7 protocol.
Yeah.
So they have a contingency plan for this.
Yeah, exactly. They know what's happening, but I do still get confused. But I'm not going to stay confused because I'm doing it for you, students of SlashU. I'm going to try to stay, I've got a clear mind now.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to stay focused for you because really out of the scene, all you get is that cops are dead.
Yeah.
Preston and his team, following C7 protocols, grab Chromeo and whisk him away in an ambulance to save his life because he is still
alive somehow.
Yes.
Remember at the end of last movie, they put some crazy acidic, burning, terribly toxic glue on the mask.
His face melted.
And when he put that mask on, it sizzled into his face, and then he peeled it off along with most of his skin, and then the girl hit him in the head with a bat a couple of times.
Yeah.
So this man should be missing his face and a severely bashed skull, but he's somehow alive. So they're going to try to stabilize him. Meanwhile, Preston had checked out the camera and realized that the girl got away. So Preston's going to go after her.
And he can track her because she still has that phone. I guess there's 2 phones where,
cell phones,
conglomerates and Chromeo,
technology.
Daddy. We'll start calling him Daddy Skull.
This was from 2011 or 12?
Yeah.
The first one was 09, right?
Yeah. This is 11.
So, yeah, I just want to make a note of that. The phone technology wasn't quite like that back then. Or, of course, it is now. He's got, a phone that's paired to hers, so he's able to see where she went.
You're still able to kind of get, that's what Brian Austin Green, because they're like, sir, aren't you coming? He's like, no, I got some other business to take care of.
He's a cleaner.
Yeah.
He's cleaning up the scene.
And that's where we meet Tommy and the girl. Tommy, you remember him and the girl run away. They were going to Atlanta, but they just make it to a hotel room. They're safe. Some tender moments shared. I really didn't, second watch, I was like, they're just like, I'm so sorry about your friend. So it's whatever. So he's like, yo, check it out. I got to get back home.
Yeah.
But I'll go get you some food and aspirin.
Right.
While she flashbacks to the first movie. Great point that Andy brought up. They do bring this, if the viewer wasn't able to catch the first one, some of the flashbacks and the beginning of the movie, you'll kind of get what happens.
All you need to know is in the first movie she went through hell.
Yeah.
He hit her in the head, she lost her memory, and killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, he liked women.
Yeah.
Did he prefer women that were women of the night or sex workers, we should say?
Yeah.
And I didn't know, but we have a lot to talk about here because I do have questions about the victims that Chromeskull, Daddy Skull, who he preferred to make his victims.
Right.
So she has flashbacks, and this is just a recap here.
Yeah.
How Chromeskull lost his face, the skull, but now Andy's twizzle mustache, shower time.
Right, the classic beautiful girl taking a shower to wash away all of the bad memories.
Yeah,
and
the blood. I mean, she's still covered in blood, obviously.
Yeah.
So you see some butt and you see some boobies.
You do.
And it's boobies being rubbed with blood falling off. So it's like I love it. But
washing away the bad memories.
washing away the bad memories and getting a little boobie and a butt shot.
Good old shower does the trick.
And Preston is tracking her. And guess what, Andy? He has finally tracked her.
Yeah.
And this time, my first watch, Brother Damos, I thought he was a cop. Like, I thought this was kind of like he was an FBI agent. Like, he was like but this is when I found out, obviously, that once he enters the hotel room, this is when I found out, wait, he's not a good guy.
He's not a good guy.
Nope.
He puts his hand over her mouth and he does the classic, like, don't scream. Do not make a sound. I'm going to take my hand away slowly and do not scream because if you scream, I'm going to fucking slice you.
Yep.
Takes the hand away. Of course, she screams and he cuts across her mouth.
The Joker face.
He does the Joker face.
I love it.
I got these scars. Yeah. So he cuts the corners of her mouth. She's not dead, but he does eventually,
But I love how he takes a photo of her.
He records it, video on the phone.
But she's just like staring at him and just... the first watch, I mean, this is a fun movie first watch just because you're like, holy shit, because you're going to get better kills. Mm-hmm. But
that's a rule, by the way, we should point out. Most of the time, sequels up the gore factor and the kills. Most of the time, just the Hatchet series.
Things I learned from Hatchet.
The Hatchet series.
The guide to fucking gore.
Go back and listen to our episodes on Hatchet, Hatchet 2, Hatchet 3, and Hatchet 4, Victor Crowley.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And also,
I have them all on
Sweatshop.
Blu-ray. I want to go watch those again.
Yeah, that would be fun. And Sweatshop, too. Like, Sweatshop is a fun episode to watch.
So,
this is actually what turned me on to Lay to Rest. I went back to Sweatshop and said, I wonder what it's going to recommend I watch if I...
Oh, smart.
So it said Lay to Rest.
There you go.
So, yeah, this is great. It's a Joker face. He takes a photo because I'm sure he wants to send it to his boss.
Yeah, he's got to show Chromeskull that I finished the job for you. No loose ends. This girl stayed alive.
Yeah, we got to clean up. Yeah, we got to...
That's when we get... she screams, he kills her, records it. Tommy ends up coming back.
With food and stuff.
And discovers she's dead.
Her boobie's cut off.
Yeah, her right boob is like
Sorry, I'm
taken, and she's dead on the bed. Tommy barfs because it's
he
disgusting.
barfs, he barfs on the cut off boobie.
Pukes all up.
Barfs on the cut off boobie. Say that 5 times real fast.
We get our title card.
Yes, that's right.
Chromeskull 2, Chromeskull Lay to Rest 2.
And I love this. Go ahead. I mean,
we get a montage now of this team doing surgery on Chromeskull, trying to reconstruct his face as best that they can.
It's the grossest opening we've seen.
It's so disgusting.
It is the grossest opening credit scene that SlashU has seen.
Yeah, apparently the mask had like one of his eyeballs in it.
Yep.
You remember his other eyeball got poked out in the last movie, so they save like his eyeball.
These are top-notch doctors.
He's having some kind of dream, I guess. Like him as I think it was like a doctor and maybe him as a little kid and maybe it was his dad or somebody.
Come touch it.
Touch the dead body. So that's what Chromeskull's dreaming about while he's under. And we come up on Preston getting the news that Chromeskull's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's so crazy how, like, I mean, to get back to it is just face guts, and it's like teeth guts, and it's the guttiest of gut faces. I don't know if that's, I mean, I think that's pretty good visual.
Remember they would show surgeries on TLC, that channel?
Yeah, when it was actually the Learning Channel.
They would like show
and now
the
it's like
surgeries.
My 1,000-pound sister. It's like it's crazy how that shit goes. It used to be it's called the Learning Channel,
but now it's just my 600-pound life.
Yeah,
hoarders and
Bravo used to be about seriously like distinguished art.
Yeah.
And now it's just about fucking 40-year-old women that want to get drunk and banged by
that's because the
dudes.
ratings for art suck.
Yeah,
everybody wants to see the 40-year-old women banging
banged
dudes.
by young dudes. Also real quick about this opening scene, I love how to make the doctors look like they're not medical doctors. They're like, doctors that work for evil. They all wear black scrubs. I think that is great.
Isn't
it's
that
like,
funny?
because if they were in blue scrubs, like, oh, is he at the hospital?
Yeah.
Oh no, they're in black scrubs. They're fucking.
This is an underground back alley.
Yeah, these are bad
surgery.
doctors.
Yeah, these guys are veterinarians.
Yeah, these are. You see the next one working on a horse.
Yeah, right. I got an iguana in the next room. I gotta go.
I'm sorry,
gotta go watch one.
Bessie the cow did not pull through.
Right.
I'm hating to tell you this.
No, that's a funny thing to point out. Like, we better dress them in something different so people don't get confused. He's not at a hospital. He's at some back alley, but well funded.
Yeah, obviously the dude's rich.
Private hospital.
So again, like Andy brought up, Preston does hear that his boss is going to live.
Yeah, and we meet a lady named Span,
and she's
Two
Danielle
N's.
Harris. Speaking of Hatchet,
She was from the Hatchet series. Yeah,
Hatchet series 1 and 2.
I think she came in 2.
2, that's right.
Because part 1 was a different girl. It was the same thing. Like, she played the same part, but different actress.
That's right. And she was also has some Halloween fame. Danielle Harris.
So Span, her character with 2 N's.
I love that name.
Span.
There's some interesting names in this one. Span. It's Span.
Span.
Her and Preston don't get along. We're just going to set that up right now.
Yeah.
Span and Preston do not get along.
Preston's like, knock next time. And when she leaves, he's just like, I hate her.
But did you notice she does things that make you go, When she's leaving, she notices that he has a Chromeskull mask on his desk, like in a suitcase.
He was trying it on, holding it on his face.
But right there, even the first watch, I'm like, what's going on? Fucking...
It's gonna be a little power struggle.
Brian Austin Green? Yeah. I mean, what's happening? So... We're getting back with the real cops, Andy. They made their way to the missing boob case. The case of the missing boob.
They're at the hotel, yeah.
The case of the missing
So we
boob.
meet
Brought to you by Lucky Strike Cigarettes.
Detective King
Yes.
is kind of the lead detective.
And his buddy Max.
And
King and Max. This fall on ABC. Okay, sorry. It's
solving crimes all over Miami. They just pick up where Crockett and Tubbs left off.
Or where that...
That's a Miami Vice reference for
or
those
where
of
that
you who are too
CSI
young.
Miami.
Yeah.
Well, this looks like this is one that's going to get the breast of us.
Yow! Horatio. Yeah. For you CSI Miami friends. Anyway,
We can't leave this boob alone.
Detective King points out that somebody was in a hurry. The job looks like somebody was in a hurry.
Novice.
Also figuring out that she had a $10,000 phone in a $50 hotel room. There was a line about that because of the cell phone, I guess. The high-end phone. Why would you have this $10,000 phone in a $50 hotel room? So something's not adding up here.
We got you, see?
Right. And meanwhile, Preston goes and checks on Chromeskull in the recovery room.
Goes to check on its boss.
Tells him he tied up all the loose ends and shows him the video of him killing the girl. Chromeskull doesn't like it. Because even though he's still kind of recovering, kind of out of it, he's making a fist. And Preston also says, listen, sir, we didn't know about the barn. We didn't know about the deal you had with that mortician. It's all been cleaned up. Next time you do something, you got to tell us about that. Pretty much.
Well,
Preston more or less kind of scolding his boss.
Yeah.
Like, don't go off like that. You got to keep us informed and we can help you. I can help you. I'm the cleaner here, and we jump to 3 months later.
Yeah. I getting back to that Chromeskull getting angry, that's a good thing to kind of talk about again, in the sense that that was his girl.
He probably wanted to do it himself.
That was his girl.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he has a very, very something close in his heart emotionally to his victims.
You think so?
Yes.
Or you think he's just like OCD?
No,
who he kills?
No, I mean, that's a good call. I think he's got, hints of OCD.
I'm the one who has to.
Yeah, but I mean, I think because he he's very much involved in his tapes. He's very much involved, like we find out, kissing, like he has an emotional connection. Mm-hmm. Again, Andy brought up, we're 3 months later, the super that comes on the screen, that's very helpful.
I love it when a movie tells us. Yeah. When it jumps ahead.
Like you're sitting there going, wait, how's Chromeskull already walking again?
Is this right?
We meet Jess. Andy, this scene is stupid. We have to set up, she's our main character now. She's the girl, if you will, but we get her name, Jess. She has bad eyes. Her mom's wants to know why she's filming her phone at the eye doctor, because she wants to tell the journey of what's going on with her eyes, man.
Yeah, the doctor's got bad news. It's acanthamoeba.
There you go.
Moeba? I don't know.
Who cares?
I only copied it off the subtitles because I had the subtitles on.
Oh, yeah, good.
So that's how I knew how to spell it. But
Arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia in her eyes. Right. Her eyes are afraid of spiders. Got it. Just her eyes. The rest of her is fine with them. No. Nick. I don't know what it is. I'm not an optometrist.
She's killing a spider.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Her eyes have to look away. No, it's the long and short of it is she's going to go blind if she doesn't have surgery and if the surgery's not a success. The doctor says he wants to do surgery. She's losing her vision. That's kind of what we established here with Jess. We cut back to Chromie. I just put Chromie.
That's what I did too. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Chromie.
Because I wrote back to old Chromie. But I do have a question for you real quick that I want to bring up. Why is the story on this of this storyline? Like, old Chromie's back, he stumbled in the bathroom and he sees the mess that used to be his face.
Mm-hmm. He's pretty pissed.
Yeah, but why is this? How is this? I mean, he liked girls that were promiscuous, that maybe like to do drugs and have sex, and maybe were sex workers or OnlyFans or like rat shit like that.
Did he?
Yeah.
Is that ever established? I mean, the girl in the last movie was a sex worker. We learned that much about her, but I don't know anything about any of his other victims. Were they just random hot girls off the street?
Yeah,
you don't know anything.
Okay, then you're right. Then you're absolutely right.
Because he starts stalking Jess in this movie.
Because what I don't like is that, okay, then tell me fucking why. What is it about Jess?
Yeah.
I like fucking chicks that might be going blind.
Maybe. Ooh, that's a weird fetish.
I know, but
How many are you gonna find?
He's got weird fetishes. He likes to fuck coffins.
Yeah, I don't understand.
He rubs his genitals across coffins.
Really?
Yes.
This isn't Saltburn. You didn't see that movie yet? Okay, well.
This is Chromeskull 3.
Murder on the dance floor. Sorry.
This is... I can't laugh because I don't know the movie.
Oh, you don't understand the reference?
No, I don't.
This would be much more fun if you did.
Yes. I just don't understand his type. Okay. So
no, I don't. That's really not made clear. Like, why is he doing this? What also isn't made clear is what the fuck's up with this giant organization payrolling. Like, why?
I know.
I don't know anything
about
about
it.
To
talk to the CFO of Chromeskull Inc.
Yeah, what's going on here?
What is your budget?
Yeah,
how do you make money?
What is there a motive?
What is your ROI?
Yeah, does he just have a bunch of people on the payroll to set up and clean up so that he can go kill? I don't understand.
They have enough money to have a tattoo artist on retainer. That's how loaded they are.
One that works fast, too.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But it's just crazy. So he punches the mirror, very angry. That's when our girl Span walks in. She has a briefcase and says, you don't need to hide. I'll help you. She's got a fresh mask for him.
And a fresh ass, if you know what I'm saying.
She
wink,
just
wink,
sort of
giggle.
strokes the back of his
tickle,
neck
tickle.
while he's down on the ground. So she's gonna help him out.
Yeah, that's what I think is kind of a cool thing, Andy, because she's trying to
get into his good graces
and to fucking stab Preston up the ish.
Oust Preston.
Yeah, this is where I wrote back with dumb Jess and her BFF Allie
making
videos, putting on makeup, going to a concert.
I thought her name was Nancy.
Allie.
Son of a bitch.
Legal weed because she got medicinal marijuana for her blindness. It's a dumb storyline that's centered around her blindness. Again, I don't understand this character. I wish there was a little backstory about Chromeskull victims and what he liked, and I think that could have been developed more.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, as we continue through this movie, we'll see that his character can develop.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's just is just showing them getting ready. It's just a scene with like, hey, we're hanging out.
They're ready to go out. Yeah, and they're smoking a bunch of her medical weed.
Yeah, and so this is when Span is getting close to Chromeskull.
Yeah.
And says like, Preston sucks ass. I have another girl for you.
She says it was very selfish of Preston to kill the girl all on his own. But yeah, she's got a new one and shows him a tape of our girl Jess, who must work at a restaurant, basically carrying food out to a table. That's it.
And then I watched the second time, Andy. Yeah. I watched the customer, and the customer seemed to be like a Ken or a Karen.
Upset.
Ken, right? Yeah, he just keeps using nonverbal, and she's like blah blah blah. And he's like my tape. Tuna fish albacore doesn't seem to have the.
This is cold.
Yes, fucking bitch.
Maybe she couldn't see.
Yeah. Don't you see what I'm? Don't you see this?
Maybe she
absolutely
grabbed the wrong.
not.
Well,
Go ahead.
That's the next victim. Meanwhile, our boy Preston is studying tapes, the recordings from the first movie. Span comes in. She says he's getting anxious, and she's been instructed to create a new play space.
Yes.
Interesting.
Like the play space, like the funeral home.
Right.
So a place where, obviously he can do his business.
Can do his thing.
But he can, again.
Preston says he's fucking useless. He's toast. But let him have this last bit of fun.
Because he's also kind of jealous, too. I mean, wouldn't you think? I mean, he's kind of like, yo.
So is Preston's idea is to take over this, murdering organization?
Yeah, I mean.
Also, why? Like, why? Why are they doing the killing? What are they?
It's fun.
Do they think they're accomplishing something?
Well, I just think
it's just fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
I thought most serial killers had some higher mission, like the dog told me to do it, or I like to eat boys, or I'm just thinking the motives over time. Didn't Ted Bundy say a dog talked to him, or was that a different guy?
Oh, the different.
The son of Sam or something.
Yeah, son of Sam. Good call. There you go.
The
Good
dog
call.
told him to do it. Jeffrey Dahmer wanted to have sex and also eat and make like zombie slaves.
I don't think we have
mission?
to. I don't think we have to.
I mean, what's the motive here?
I don't think we have to dive too into it. It's like he's probably like senior VP, and Chromie,
Preston.
Yeah, and Daddy Skull is probably CEO.
Yeah.
And here comes the fucking junior marketing associate,
right?
Span, who's like,
oust him.
Yeah. So I bet Span is in marketing.
If they didn't have this organization, would these guys be working like in advertising or in insurance? Maybe would they be accountants somewhere? But they're working at Murder Inc.
Span would be in advertising. Preston would be in insurance.
He would.
Yeah.
Preston would probably be a claims adjuster. Not covered. Stab. Just kidding.
But anyway, Span is kind of bragging to Preston.
Yeah.
Because Preston's like, yo, why didn't you choose me?
Right.
And she's like, because I have a vagina. And
I'm there
you
do not
have a penis.
Yeah.
And so they're building like the funeral home, they're building a play space, and it's at a chrome plating factory.
Isn't that ironic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
chrome plating factory.
Preston's still kind of bummed because, like Andy said, I know we kind of went off on a tangent, but he thinks old Chromie is old news, and so he wants to have his fun. So Allie and Jess are partying, getting ready to smoke weed, and this is when I know like something's going to happen. Allie goes to make popcorn.
Yeah.
And as she walks down...
I really put her name as Nancy for
everything. It's Allie. As she goes to make popcorn, she's walking. You get to see who's at the door. You see like the chrome.
Yeah.
And this is the daddy. This is daddy.
This is our guy.
This is our guy. CEO of
Chrome Inc.
Of Coffin Fucking Inc.
Coffin Fucking Inc.
And I love how every horror movie, Andy, because we've watched a lot now, every horror movie, when they have heavy metal music, it's always like, let me turn it up, man. And they turn it up so loud that you can't hear all the brutal murderings that are happening around you.
So Allie's making popcorn and cranks the music.
Yeah, no, I think it's
Jess.
Jess cranks the music. Yeah, because she's blind, she can't hear the music. So she cranks it up so the murdering can happen. Chromeskull's probably like, oh, thank God she turned up the music.
Yeah.
So now I can brutally.
I don't have to be quiet. Right.
Brutally fucking kill Allie, which is what happens, Andy.
He just walks into the house.
Yep.
And Allie's in the kitchen and turns around and says, whoa, who are you? Get the fuck out of here or I'll kill you. And he just winds up and throws his knife at Allie. But he hits her the side of her face.
I love this.
Because he's probably got to adjust because of his vision, because of he's missing an eye and his other eye was probably damaged.
That's a good call.
Rather than hitting her dead center. You didn't think of that?
No.
Rather than hitting her dead center, he just hit her like on the left side of her face.
Awesome.
And he had trouble. He had to jiggle the knife. It's like stuck in her head, and he had to jiggle it out, and it essentially cuts off like, I don't know, the third side of her head and ear. And
yeah, like a quarter. Dead. I mean, it's interesting. It's a cool kill.
It's gross.
Like, I mean, seriously, slices off. I mean, I didn't even know
the side of Allie's face.
Yeah, decapitates. I wrote decapitates the side of her face. ... Rad.
And he ends up just taking Jess. Doesn't kill her, but he.
Yeah, she sees this, screams, so he
abducts her.
Abducts her. Great,
yeah,
thank you. Bax and King make it to Allie's house.
Smash, going over. Detectives.
Yeah. And I hate this. I hate this shit when they do this. I'm sorry, but Bax and King are at Allie's house and they see Allie's dead body.
Yeah.
And they discover that Jessica's missing, and King looks at Max and go, what about the dad? He's dead. So that rules him out. Because he's dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, that rules him out. Get it? Because he can't do it.
Right.
Because he's dead.
Well, they're just spitballing suspects. They're trying to figure out who did it. The mom discovered the body.
Yeah.
The friend Jess is missing, and the dad is out of the picture. They watch. They have Jess's video.
Yep.
Her little camera that she was making video, and they see in the video at one point, Chromeskull was in the window looking in,
Stop
and
that.
and they're
Okay,
like,
pause that.
wait, pause, rewind,
Yeah,
zoom
rewind,
in,
zoom in.
enhance,
Yeah.
enhance, and they're like, didn't that kid Tommy tell us that it was a guy who looked like this? Get him back in here, because it's been 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, get Tommy back in here for questioning.
And so we cut to Tommy, who's fucking all emo now, dude. He's like,
Well, he's been through a lot.
yeah, he's like, he's got his My Chemical Romance shirt on, his sister's jeans, his nails are all black.
Sister's jeans.
He's wearing fucking New Balance.
Right.
I mean, this
New Balance makes you emo?
Yes.
Cool. Look at Andy checks his own feet. Look at me. I'm emo. I'm wearing New Balance.
He walks the alleys.
Yeah.
No, he's actually walking not the alley's house. He's walking like in the alleys of his
Between
neighborhood.
buildings.
Between buildings.
Yeah,
alleys.
yeah, I get it.
It looks like someone's talking. Is he wearing eyeliner? Because he's got those
Probably.
beautiful eyes. But anyway,
Yeah.
he's looks like someone's stalking him. He makes his way back to his apartment where he shares a house with a roommate, Lori.
Right.
She's kind of wanting the rent. He's like, dude, he's obviously been going through shit, like Andy said. So he's laid on
Struggling
rent.
with grief and PTSD,
Yeah.
I put. Yeah.
There you go. So he retreats to his bedroom to watch old videos of him and his late buddy. I don't know if you don't know who his late buddy was. He was the one who died in the close to the end of the towards the end of the last movie. Got decapitated, his head thrown in a refrigerator. The typical thing that happens.
That was, wasn't it? This is Tommy. Wasn't his, oh God, what was his name? Johnny? No.
I don't know, but
Anthony.
Anthony, like,
They were singing
sexy bitches on my favorite kind of bitches.
Sexy bitches on my favorite kind of bitches. So we get some flashbacks of those videos.
Yeah, and he's kind of like, he's just what. And so Lori listens to what sounds like a 9 Inch Nails cover band from Mobile, Alabama. Just horrible music. And so Tommy decides to put on headphones because he doesn't want to hear that crap. And then here comes Chromeskull.
How did Chromeskull know where Tommy lived? Like, how does... Yeah. Are you done?
I don't think it's Chromeskull.
Oh.
I think it's
Preston?
Preston.
Interesting. Well, a man with a chrome mask on, sneaks into this house and ends up killing Lori.
Yeah, this is a cool scene. I read about this.
Yeah.
So if you notice when Lori opens the door, Chromeskull guts her in the stomach and then saws up to her chest.
Yeah.
And then throws her aside.
Yeah.
Cut to, he walks in and then there she is against the wall until he can finally gut her fucking mouth.
Yeah.
They shot that scene because the actress that played Lori had a twin sister.
Ooh.
So the one sister did the push out of the way. So then she ran off set. So then her twin sister was the one against the on the wall dead.
That's why there's 2 girls credited as Lori.
Yep. That's exactly
it really
right.
threw me off because I'm sure you try to keep track of the names and such in these movies, and that's part of the reason I watch with the subtitles because you catch their names easier. But I noticed in the cast list there's 2 girls credited.
I thought that was really
who played
interesting,
Lori.
so they could do the continuous shot.
That's cool.
They could do the continuous scene because of course, the practical effects, you'd have to set up a totally different shot for that to happen. So, kind of
That's
cool.
the U part of SlashU.
SlashU.
This is where we educate you about
cinephiles and sexual AIDS.
So that's what we do here. And so you don't think this was Chromeskull, our guy. You think this is Brian Austin Green or Preston dressed up as. That's how he knew where Tommy lived, or he knew to look for Tommy at all.
That's the only thing I can think of because we know that he's being stalked as he's being all emo in the alley between buildings. But
and he's a loose end from the first movie. So
that's my guess, and I feel like that's a
good call,
a pretty good call. Thank you.
So Lori, his roommate Lori, is dead, like in her room, and Tommy makes his way through his house and he calls for her and she doesn't answer, and he tries the door and it's locked. But then there's a knock at his front door and he goes out and there's Max from Homicide there to pick him up for questioning, which startles him. Of course, he's like, my roommate didn't answer me. I was calling, and Max is like, she probably just went out to get something to eat. Come to the station with me.
Yeah.
You got to answer some questions, bro. And down at the station, they questioned Tommy about Chromeskull. Thought he was dead, but here's this video, and a girl's missing now.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
He's obviously freaked out because of his experience with Chromeskull, obvi.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's like, yeah, that's the dude, you know, and
Yeah.
he's their connoisseur, if you will, of what Chromeskull is and what he stands for.
He's the only living person who witnessed it, though.
know.
You know, so
We cut to Jess, who's waking up in a casket because, you know, fetish.
that's what they do.
And his crew is setting up, again, the crew that he has on payroll is setting up the chrome factory, the chrome plating factory.
Yeah, they're
the playground for Chromeskull.
Yeah, they're like welding
Chain link fences.
chain link fence up, and
weaponry.
Yeah.
A playground for the sadistics.
So it's really weird. It's just this big warehouse type room, and Preston comes walking in.
I love this.
With the guys who are making weapons, I guess.
Yeah.
And he draws up quick there on the table. He just takes a pencil or crayon marker or whatever and draws up a weapon that's like 6 knives, like in a star shape with a spring-loaded contraption to it to make like a weapon.
Yeah.
He just designs it on the fly. It says,
It's
do
a
this.
spinning.
Yeah, it's a spinning thing. Make these blades facing out and put a spring on it so there's some,
Or tension.
and draws it right there. And he tells the guy, go make that.
Spinning. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, wee! Because I
gonna
know
be
it's going to be like a cool
Yeah.
weapon.
Be a cool weapon.
It's a fun foreshadowing moment. This is wasted time watching Jess' stupid video diaries.
Yeah.
I fast forwarded this part, but Tommy is hanging out with the detectives at the station.
Yeah.
He reads the report about the dangerous capabilities of Chromeskull, like taking out an entire police station. And this is when he's like, yeah, this guy is bad. This guy, I know if he took out a police station, we're in danger. We got to go. So they're like, kid, just calm down. Tell us about this Chromeskull. Tell us about him, man. Let us help us. And he's like, well, it's a chrome mask.
And they figure, though, it's chrome plated.
Yes.
Because solid chrome would be too heavy to stick to his face. He doesn't use straps.
He doesn't use straps, exactly.
Right.
And so it's metal, chrome plated. So they're kind of like, so the first thing I would think of, like this cop does, is like, okay, let's think of chrome plated factories in a 50-mile radius.
Where could you make
Why
one of those?
why would they make the playground in a chrome plated factory in the first place? I mean, the last place was obviously a barn next to a funeral home. So it could be literally any abandoned place.
And it's weird that the detective would say he probably made this on his own rather than ordering it off Amazon. So let's look for a chrome factory.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wrote too. I was like, yeah.
Why would you look at the source of the mask? I don't know.
Yeah, why wouldn't you let's look at fucking coffin places again.
This is a one-of-a-kind mask.
Yeah.
You can't get these anywhere. So let's look at all the chrome plating factories in the area.
I mean, that could be anywhere. It could be like an old restaurant, like an old Applebee's, a closed down Applebee's. They could have set up the playground there. That's what I mean. You could be literally anywhere.
They went a little on the nose.
Yeah.
Put him in a chrome factory.
So that's what they do. They send Officer Holland to go check him out. Check out any shop within a 50-mile radius that specializes in chrome plating. And again, I wrote, that's a pretty fucking cool way to figure it out. So
Detective King also mentions that they tried running the Chromeskull license plate, but it was fake. Because Tommy said, he had a license plate on his car that said Chromeskull.
Yeah.
But it was like CRMSKLL or
yeah,
something.
spelled differently, yeah.
King says, we tried all different kinds of spellings and we couldn't get it to come up. It was obviously a fake plate. I don't know.
That is something to bring up because when Holland is kind of snooping around, but
she sees it later.
But we're back with Preston, who is at the playground, and they talk to each other, Chromeskull and Preston, digitally through like texting.
Yeah.
And the texting comes up on a screen. Just like
I guess his Chromeskull doesn't speak very well.
Yeah.
Well, he probably talked fine in the last movie.
Hello, I'm Chromeskull.
He just didn't talk.
Yeah.
In this, his face has been, his mouth has been reconstructed.
Yeah.
So he communicates via text.
Or AOL Messenger. You know, like it's they
AIM. Remember that?
Yeah. So asking him to take care, he's like, hey, Chrome Daddy, boss, I can help take care of problems. I really want to help you. Is there any way I can kill Jess or can I just help you kill? And he's like, I catch my own fish. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of like, this is when the battle's starting to begin a little bit, Andy. It's kind of like, he even pulls out Jess and he's like, after, Chromeskull cuts him off. He pulls out Jess because he's kind of frustrated. He's like, "You don't understand the things that he's gonna do.
He's
to you.
gonna
This guy-
do gross,
this
terrible
guy
things.
is horrible. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like that. I just want to kill you.
Yeah, I'm more of a Band-Aid, a Band-Aid technique.
Yeah, I'll
kinda
get rid of
guy.
it. I'll get rid of it.
kill you quick.
Yeah, but this guy's gonna do horrible, horrible things to you, torture you.
He
and-
whispers something
Yeah.
to Jess's ear about what he does to those girls that are in the coffins. So it obviously freaks out Jess.
yeah.
Because
Well, I mean,
he also fought a little bit with Chromeskull about Tommy. Like, I can clean this up. I've been busting my ass for you.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
he's
your
a loose
right hand
end.
man.
Let me go after Tommy. He's not your type,
Yeah.
and he's
let
a
me
loose
help
end.
you.
Let me help you. And then
He's got because obviously he's killing more, so I guess he's got the fever for the finagling of death.
Fever for the flavor of death.
Fever for the flavor of death.
Another good song. Hot Action Cop. Fever for the flavor.
Fever
Anyway.
for the flavor sounds like it'd be like a cool like.
It's a song.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard it. It's in like a lot of '90s.
Fever for the flavor.
I first heard it, I think, in like American Pie, those types movies. Yeah, yeah. It's.
Okay.
Do you think that I don't want to sing the song? Anyway, keep going. Hot Action Cop. Fever for the flavor.
Hot Action Cop, Fever for the flavor. Back with Holland, she narrows it down to one factory.
Yes.
She's like, I think I got it. And so King's like, we'll go check it out. She's off. So she makes it to the factory. We get a quick shot of that, the foreshadowing bit of the weapon, Andy.
Preston picking up his new knife.
Yeah, his new spinning it around. It's really cool.
Just in time to see Holland pulling up on the security camera.
And Preston decides he's going to take care of this one himself. He finds the perfect Chromeskull to wear, just like becoming the belle of the ball, but with more murder.
Right.
He is, putting on his gown for the evening. Picks a great chrome. And so I wrote
Can you
this.
imagine if he put on the chrome mask and,
And then a nightgown, that would be awesome.
I'm going to go killing. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Diddly-dee.
Diddly-doo.
Yeah.
I'm the belle of the ball.
The belle of the ball with my chrome mask and my.
Oh,
I
this
can already see it like a baby blue dress,
Yeah.
like what Cinderella wore in the Disney movie.
And then, like, the cartoon
Yeah.
birds are putting on the Chromeskull mask.
helping him.
Yeah. Diddly-diddly-diddly-doo.
This is what he imagines in his head.
Yeah.
But in real life, that's not what's happening. But it's just the psychosis that killers go through.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, like when he's
woodland
singing that-
creatures get him
Yeah.
ready. Oh God.
Holland makes it to the factory.
Yeah.
And and she's snooping around, and Jess escapes, but she is blind.
can barely see
I don't
anything.
know.
Yeah.
Who cares? Holland snoops around the factory. She notices the old Chromeskull plates, and I'm just like, why would you throw them there? Like, I feel like let's toss them outside the factory. I mean, that is like so much evidence right there. But she decides to kind of she's like, whoa, I think I got something here. So she calls back and says, yo, the place seems pretty abandoned. Mm-hmm. But fake Chromeskull, Preston, fake Chromeskull is watching. Mm-hmm. So while this is all happening, Andy, Jess calls her mom for help. And
Finds her phone.
Yeah,
This was just silly because Jess, obviously going blind, she can't see very well, but she has her phone. She calls her mom, and suddenly these loudspeakers start going off.
Yeah, I don't
causing
understand
feedback. It's something like the phone. I think when the phone emits a signal, outgoing call, it was setting off these alarms. And
Oh,
it was
that's
feedback.
smart. So they have really smart IT people on their
Super
staff.
advanced technology that would block the cell signal.
This LLC must have
Yeah.
a fucking
It's
holy
wild.
shit.
Probably backed by China.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably getting funding from China
Why do you think they got the
or
Chrome?
Russia.
Yeah.
So the
Fucking Russians.
she essentially can't communicate clearly with her mom because of the feedback from these loudspeakers because of the cell signal. And her mom was freaking out, and Jess essentially just says, I love you very much, and hangs up. And her mom immediately is like, we're going to the cops.
Yep.
And meanwhile, Holland is snooping around.
Yeah.
And I think she was reaching like through the door. She can't legally enter the building without a search warrant.
She's all she's doing is trying to make sure those are the license plates.
Yeah.
And as she's doing this, she's suddenly pulled in by fake Chromeskull, Preston, who is now he's got like a what would you call a bald cap? It's
Merkin.
yeah.
Toupee. I don't know.
Well, that Merkin's going back to one of our old episodes.
Yeah, we used Merkin a lot back in the day.
But he's not bald yet. But he's got like something. He looks like he's got a bald head. And he's got his chrome mask on. He pulls in Holland, and he's got that cool new weapon, Andy, the spinny thing. Mm-hmm. And so he slashes Holland, and somehow Jess is able to see this on a monitor because he's wearing a video camera too on his shoulder, like his daddy does. Yeah. And so
his boss. Yeah.
Holland tries to crawl up the stairs, but before she can get to take away, he throws this weapon thing and it makes its way to the top step, barely missing Holland.
Yeah.
So she continues to try to escape and climb up these stairs, and as she gets to the top, right next to this horribly, this designed weapon that is just chaotic of kills, he grabs the back of her head, pulls it up, and just stabs her fucking face into the knives. Like 2 knives go in her mouth, and you think she's dead, but she starts kind of moving around. So then he decides to take his fucking foot, bash her head and like curb stomp, and then the knives,
the spring release
cut her face in half through the mouth, decapitating her fucking head like it's fucking vegan butter on a piece of burnt toast. And that is my dick kill. Shot of the week. Whoa!
Kill of the week. Dick shot. Kill of the week.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it is. I mean, her face slips off, like I said, like how just things slide like butter on a toast. But what's interesting, Daddy Chromeskull is watching this, and let me tell you something, students. He is not happy about what he sees, because you know what he thinks? Is this little motherfucker trying to become Chromeskull Senior? Is he trying to become Daddy?
Mad.
Is he trying to become Daddy?
Jess was watching on a camera, but so was the real Chromeskull, right? Meanwhile, Jess's mom is at the police station explaining, I got a phone call. You guys got to look into it. Preston hides Holland's body in a casket while Jess sends a text message. And as she sends that text message, the sirens go off again, because I think it's the signal leaving the cell phone, bouncing out of the building, and the sirens go off. And Preston's like, "Holy shit, what are you doing?" and handcuffs her to the casket that she was supposed to be in. I don't know. Meanwhile, the cops are like, "Let's run the phone and try to pinpoint where that call came from." And Tommy gets a soda.
Yeah, emo boy. This is where it's like everything's kind of happening. This is like towards the end of the movie. The first one's way better. The second half starts to get a little chaotic to me. Emo boy's grabbing a soda, and here comes Brian Austin Green, Preston. And
how did he get there so fast? He got to the police station so fast.
Because it's only like 10 miles away from the factory.
He's killed Holland, and he's like, boom, there.
Yeah, no blood, looking good.
And how did Preston get in the police station without anybody seeing him or questioning him?
Well, I mean, they saw a video of him because
He walked in and...
You can walk into a police station and nobody's going to question you.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like someone would be like, hello,
well, you're
how can I help
especially in Miami.
Yeah. Or here.
But, I mean, maybe, yeah, well...
I guess. We walk around inside to the soda machine.
This isn't the Peach Pit. Let's get over it.
So...
Peach Pit 90210 reference.
I understand.
I'm getting, he's like, I'm getting your ass, motherfucker. So what he does, he just grabs the missing link, but instead of killing him right there at the police station, he just knocks him out and brings him to the Chrome factory next to Jess. And she's all like, let me go. I can't see you. I'm blind.
Right.
And Preston is surprised by this. Is he mad?
I don't know. Yeah, right. Jess is just like, I can't identify you because I can't really see. And it's dumb.
I don't know, but he talks to Jess, and Chromeskull is watching this while he's getting his head shaved, while Span is shaving his head. And so he's kind of seeing that he's kind of working through his own, like he's watching Preston talk to Jess. He's listening to Preston say to Jess, like,
should I just take you myself? I mean, I could use the practice.
Yeah, he's like, Daddy's not happy.
Yeah.
I'm sure Daddy's like, why is my boy doing this?
So Preston's talking to Jess about all this as Chromeskull's watching on camera, and our girl Span is shaving his head. They watch on camera as sort of Span is basically saying, like, see, look how he trash talks you to your own victim right here. You know, sort of grooming Chromeskull to get more and more angry. There's this power struggle amongst the killers.
Things aren't going to be well. Right then, things are going to be... the future for Preston doesn't look too bright.
Meanwhile, the cops obviously discover Tommy's been missing. He's been grabbed. They see Preston on camera grabbing him. They get a call. It turns out Tommy's roommate was found down in Cobb County. They check the map. Cobb County's in the opposite direction from where Holland went. So... that goes back to your point that Preston was the one who killed Tommy's roommate and took her body in the other direction from where our girl Holland at the chrome plating factory was killed. So that points to there must be two of them doing the killing. And it's funny. King points at detectives Tiny and Max and says, "You two, do the buddy cop thing." And Preston, they go off to go check out the Chrome factory.
They want to follow up with Holland, Tiny and Max.
They can't get a hold of Holland. Let's go to where she was and check it out.
Yeah.
And Preston explains, this is going to be over real quick. One way or another, one of us is going to slice you. Jess.
Yeah, because we're back with Preston. He's talking to Jess and like, hey, it's either going to be me or my boss. But he reaches out to Chromeskull and says, hey, I found the guy. Like you said, can I kill him? Tommy, can I kill him? He's not your type. But quickly, I love this. Your services are no longer needed here.
A text comes over the screen to Preston that says, your position at the organization is no longer required.
Please leave your badge and gun on the table.
We're going to need the keys to your company car and your
and
high-end cell phone.
Yeah, and the key fob.
Right. Preston, very upset by this. He tells the two kids, Jess and Tommy, you guys can run around in here a little bit, find something to hit me or stab me, something fun. I'll be right back.
And this is where they go to, Preston goes to the tattoo artist they have on retainer.
Yeah, Preston's got time to get a whole tattoo that matches Chromeskull's tattoo.
Yeah, but real quick, it's kind of the big scene where Span hands Daddy Chromeskull, like the original Chromeskull, he hands him the mask. Mm-hmm. He puts on the mask. And, Andy, who does he kiss goodbye?
I think that's the dead, the girl from the first movie.
The boob cut off?
Yeah, they have
That's
her.
what Jody said too.
They have her body there.
Yeah, so he has a connection with her.
Yeah.
He kisses like her gross blue lips.
The one that got away.
The one that got away. He puts on his mask, so he's off to do some duty.
Yeah.
But going back to the tattoo, interesting story. It's done on Brian Austin Green, but they actually get some close-ups of the tattoo. The character who played Chromeskull covered in tats.
So
he's getting the real tattoo on his back.
So it's footage of him getting the tattoo.
Yeah, of close-up of him getting a tattoo, but then far away shots of
Brian Austin Green.
It's on his chest.
Like it's him getting it.
The tattoo we see the close-up shots is being done on a back.
Interesting.
So that's a real tattoo.
I read that too. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but
so how they mix that in there.
You're a man who has some tats.
Yes.
One or two. Mm-hmm. Takes longer than 10 minutes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so, but here, this is a pretty complex, good-looking tattoo.
Yeah, I would say
something like this.
Hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, so Brian Austin Green has time to just jump and go dedicate 2 hours to a tat. Like, what?
It's like one of those ones you wet the back of it and stick it on there.
Temporary
tattoo.
It's a henna tattoo.
Sit down and grab your spiritual crystals and I'll put this on you.
Draws it on for the afternoon.
Tommy and Jess make their way to escaping. Not before discovering Holland's decapitated face. Like it is such a mutilated face. It's awesome.
Well, they somehow get like under the floor.
Yeah, I just wrote a bunch of
scenes. The phone will work without setting off the alarms.
Yes.
That's how I learned that the phone signal was setting off the alarms.
That's a good call.
Yeah, they somehow get like under the floor, out of range of like the signal blockers or whatever the fuck it is. That so they're able to like make a phone call uninterrupted. And that's when Tommy gets a hold of the cops and just says, like, start tracing this. I don't know where I am. We were knocked out, but I'm here with this girl. He explains he was taken by the bald freak in the mask. Or he wasn't. Tommy says, I wasn't taken by the bald freak in the mask. But that's when we see Preston shaving his head and getting bald. You look confused.
Yeah, no, I'm confused in the sense that I didn't realize what that was the basement for.
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
They get like down low. Yeah.
So and that's exactly what they did. The technology of this, how they set up these play factories, is brilliant.
Yeah.
Tiny and Max make their way to the factory, walk the perimeter,
doing the buddy cop thing.
Yeah. Tiny doesn't play by the rules.
It's funny. They see Holland's car. Max is like, we got to go by the book. We walk the perimeter. You go that way. I'll go that way, and we'll meet on the other side. And they decide split up, walk the perimeter only, no going inside. Tiny goes inside anyway.
Yeah, because again, he doesn't play by the rules.
Yeah,
they separate Tiny and Max, but they're connected via radio.
Right.
And this is when Tiny discovers Holland's badge just laying on the floor.
He sees some blood. He radios Max. I'm inside already. I see this looks like Holland's badge on the floor. Tiny gets out of nowhere. A knife comes through from the back and out of his mouth.
Yes. What you've seen before.
We've seen lots of that.
Yeah.
He gets stabbed from behind very suddenly and quickly by Chromeskull, who then the knife then starts to saw because it's a toothed knife.
Yeah, serrated.
Starts a serrated knife saws upwards through the top of Tiny's head.
Nose, forehead.
And meanwhile, what's happening to Max, like at the same time, is Preston, dressed up as Chromeskull, stabs Max in the side of the head. So it's like both the cops get killed at the same time, but the one that I like is Tiny. As they're sawing upwards, his head is splits in half. Vertically, and he falls forward, both sides of his head. That is my dick kill shot of the week. Dick kill shot of the week.
Dick shot, kill of the week.
Dick shot kill of the week.
That is
Tiny's is mine.
Yeah, because I thought that was great because Andy, like when you texted me, said, "Yeah, Tiny," because we've seen the knife through the fucking back of the head, through the mouth.
Yeah.
But then to take the serrated knife and just like saw up through
upward.
the nose, through the forehead, through the skull.
Yeah.
And then the face just falls apart vertically.
Yeah.
Great. And so it is neat that we see that 2 Chromeskulls, one senior, one junior, are in the factory.
Max is getting killed at the same time, stabbed in the side of the head. So both the buddy cops are dunzos.
Yeah, Chromeskull Jr. Chromeskull Light is what I'm calling him. Preston makes his way to the cage where Jess and Tommy are hiding out.
Yeah.
Kind of like, taunting them, but quickly Big Papa steps out. And let's talk about this kill, Andy. Body piercing extreme. I think I'm going to let you explain this one to the students.
Right.
The Chromeskull killing of Chromeskull Jr.
Tommy says to Preston, the cops are coming. They're chasing the call. And Preston pretty much says, "Oh yeah, well, you'll be dead, but you'll be dead by the time they get here." Just as real Chromeskull stabs like some chains into Preston's back, and strings him up, drags him, pulling him along the floor as Preston starts yelling like, "Fuck you! I've done everything for you. I'm a fucking, I'm a cleaner. I busted my ass for you. I've done everything for you. You fucking, you don't know how to repay me." Strings him up on the fence, on the chain link fence. Preston changes his tune pretty quickly.
Yeah, teach me,
Daddy.
Daddy.
He goes to begging. Wait, we can work this out. This was a mistake. I'm sorry. He gets real calm about it. Look, I fucked up. I'm really sorry. I can learn from you, right? I can learn from you. And he strings him up like Jesus on the cross, arms straight out. And Preston starts begging, like, just please teach me. Will you just please teach me? I'll start from the bottom and work my way up. Please teach me. And Chromeskull backs up as Preston says, "Will you teach me?" And Chromeskull just kind of nods his head and then just starts furiously slashing him.
Like a chef at hibachi restaurant.
Yeah, it's like over and over again at the neck and upper torso area, just over and over.
It's like today's special at the Peach Pit. Fucking Brian Austin Green's head.
Over and over, and suddenly, like, Preston's body eventually separates and drops to the ground, and the head stays.
And I love how he turns it around to stare at fucking Tommy and Jess.
Turns the head around to look at Tommy and Jess.
It is so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I love how, just teach me, Daddy. Well, he doesn't say Daddy, but he said, teach me. And he nods his head.
Yeah,
like his fucking Bruce
chef.
Lee shit.
Choo.
Just like fucking crazy. So, Daddy Chromeskull, who's now doesn't have to be called Daddy. He's just Chromeskull now. The other one's dead. Turns off the lights, puts the fear of Satan in Jess and Tommy, and kind of just walks around the cage that they locked themselves in, the fenced, the chain link.
Is it
fence.
electrified?
No, I think it's just
because he's like slashing and there's sparks that are
maybe
flying up.
I don't know why it would be electrified, electric, but
I don't get it.
I don't get it. But
the sparks are a cool touch.
Chromeskull finally makes his way into the cage, kind of stabs Tommy, who poetically looks at Jess and goes, "Run."
So Tommy dead?
No, not yet, because classic, it's the classic line, "Run, I'll stay behind." And
right.
Jessica gets a stab. Chromeskull's able to reach at her calf and stab her through the calf.
Gets her in the leg.
But Tommy is back before Chromeskull can get to Jessica. Tommy tries to choke out Daddy.
Jumps him from behind.
Tries to choke out Daddy. Choke me out, Daddy.
Yeah.
Whose mask is ripped off, and when he rips off his mask, we see what Chromeskull looks like, and to me, it's very, very Jason Voorhees-esque, like the drowning, the burn,
really
like
deformed.
everything, really deformed face. That's to me very similar to when Jason Voorhees' face is revealed, I believe, in the 4th final chapter. You get that burnt face or whatever, but he puts the chrome mask on and puts his attention back on Jessica so he can throw her in a casket, because he loves to fuck caskets.
Oh, he does?
And yes,
Gross.
He really loves fucking caskets and does what he loves doing best, Andy, by drilling a hole through the wood and setting up his camera so we can keep an eye on his new fishy.
Yeah, he types that on his phone, new fishy, and puts her in the casket, plugs the phone. So is Tommy dead?
That's
what happened to Tommy.
Is this what last time we saw?
That was it. Tommy jumps him from behind and tries to stab Chromeskull, and Chromeskull essentially
Maybe that was his
throws him off or something.
I thought when they threw him off, he was still kind of alive.
It's all very dark, very fast.
Because when he was thrown off, he doesn't die. He's not like he's kind of like I don't know.
Well, he throws
very good call.
You're right. He throws Jess back in the coffin, and then he plugs he types or he plugs his camera into the sound system. And that's when Detective King rolls up with some other cops. And
it's him and three other cops.
They make their way inside. Right? Yes, and they're like, at least, no, there might be four. Well, they start yelling, this is the police, come out, and all that shit. They discover Max's body. They discover Tiny's body. They start cutting all of the switches to the speakers.
Because they can hear Jessica screaming.
Because it's just screaming all over the place, and they got to try to figure out where she is. So cut off all the speakers, and three cops come up on Chromeskull. He's there, and they're like, cuff him. He has his hands up.
Yeah.
And then, like, you cuff him. I don't want to fucking cuff him. You cuff him.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those, like, Keystone Cops moments. So they send in the rookie.
Yeah.
And just, I'm not going to, we could, of course, go off on this
He
scene.
kills them all.
Kills them all quickly.
He
one
flips
shot,
around, slices in the neck, stabs one in the head, and the third gets caught on a hook, and then his neck gets sliced.
Yeah, so all three just brutally killed quickly.
Right.
King makes his way back to the coffin that is housing Jess. Or Chromeskull makes his way back to the coffin that is housing Jess. I thought he was going to fuck the coffin. I really did.
Yeah.
But
she's like kicking and punching, and she's able to kick the lid open. It knocks Chromeskull backwards. She hits him with a pipe, and then she takes off running. But she can't see very much because she's going blind. That was an important part to the plot. She couldn't just get something in her eyes. I don't know. They just made it. Remember, she's blind, guys.
Yeah.
She can't see, so she's stumbling around. Detective King and another cop are looking for her. The other cop ends up getting stabbed, killed, and then King gets like knocked down.
And then another cop is brought
Chromeskull grabs that injured cop and
takes his face and electrocutes it off.
He electroplates his face with chrome.
Yeah, and then he smashes it on the fucking table. That's really unique.
Because electroplating's kind of a cool process, but he dips this guy's face
nerd.
in the liquid, and it's electrically charged to seal the plating on the surface. It
was a cool kill. I thought it was unique.
We are in a chrome plate factory.
Yeah,
got to remember that.
Definitely. If you like jerking off to Fangoria magazine, you're gonna love this movie. Jessica gets Chromeskull's attention as he's trying to put the death moment on King.
Detective King.
Yeah, Detective King. She breaks the camera, and that's a no-no. Two things you don't mess with when it comes to Chromeskull, Andy: coffins and videotapes.
You can't kill me now, fucker.
Yeah,
you don't have your camera.
He doesn't have a camera because he loves Chrome. He loves Chrome too. I forget. And coffins. He loves banging coffins. Finally, I guess
he has another camera.
Yeah, because he makes his way into the basement.
She uses a lighter to try to see, and she hides in that underground area.
Basement,
The basement. Chromeskull uses the night vision on his camera. She gets a drop on him with a rock. Knocks his mask off. They struggle. He's choking her. She lights his face on fire with that lighter.
Yeah.
To get away, and she starts climbing back up the ladder, and he grabs her injured leg, and suddenly Detective King is there. Picks her up out of the hole, out of the ladder, and fires his gun down, apparently killing Chromeskull.
Apparently. Is Chromeskull dead? That's the big question. No. Here comes the FBI.
The King gets outside, and here's the FBI.
The FBI agent. I was like, weren't you in the first one?
I don't know.
It's that Jonathan Sachs guy. And he was killed. He was the one that was killed when he went to Make Out Point to see.
Yes, Agent Sells played Johnny in the first movie.
Yeah.
Same actor.
Who was... the King of Queen of Dragons, or not the Queen of Dragons, is what was the?
Lena Headey.
Yeah, she played.
Lena Headey was in the first movie.
Yeah,
Cersei Lannister.
Johnny was Cersei's brother, who was like, I just want to make sure he's not cheating on her.
Right. So
now he plays an FBI agent.
Now he plays an FBI agent.
He's got a twin brother.
Right. I don't know. Just
Johnny lived in Asheville, and his twin brother's a fucking FBI agent.
Superman Clark Kent thing.
Yeah.
In the first movie, he was Superman. No glasses. This movie, he's got glasses on, and he's an FBI agent. They explained that they've been tracking Chromeskull for quite some time. And Detective King is pissed. He's fucking killed half my department. How many more bodies were you going to let stack up before you do anything about it? He's obviously upset. And they said, well, we're going to need all your reports and files. And of course, Detective King said, yeah, you can have them along with my resignation.
Yeah, he's like, fuck
Thanks.
this.
I'm
He
out.
lost all his homies, and so
And the FBI takes Jess.
they take Jess away, and it looks like Chromeskull is still alive,
He
Andy,
is.
because we cut to Span, who is now the new boss. She is now taken over for what Preston was doing. She commences on his new location, which to me would be a great, because obviously he's in Hollywood. He steps on the Hollywood Star
Walk of Fame.
Walk of Fame. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's Halloween, I guess, because he's able to be he's able to walk around in his Chromeskull
Yeah.
bald head, because everyone else is walking around.
She says to him, the full operation will be moved next week, and he texts her, don't let me down. And she says, we'll find the girl and resume with the plan. Until then, enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
And you're right. He's just out in public in Hollywood,
No,
walking along.
It would be a perfect Chromeskull 3,
But-
there's not, because it would just be like his new setting would be Hollywood. He had Chromeskull had the makings of a Voorhees, Michael Myers.
Right.
But
Well-
roll credits?
We roll credits.
No, we don't roll credits.
Yeah, there's an after credit scene.
A crazy fucking
So-
one I've never seen in my life.
The
Go ahead.
FBI is talking to a woman.
Yes, who's a pregnant woman.
Mrs. Chromians.
Chromio. I did whatever. James Chromio.
She says, we were going to start a family. Everything was perfect. And they say, when was the last time you saw your husband? And she says, a few months ago. He goes out on business trips. And she just starts crying and says, fine, show me what he's done. And if I believe you, I'll help you. And they show her the file. There's dead bodies, the things that he's done, screen caps. She said, the agent says these are screen caps from the videos that he sent to the police. She cries and stands up, revealing that she's very pregnant.
Yeah, sorry.
She's extremely pregnant.
She's
And
got baby Chromeskull.
She
Baby
hugs.
skull.
She hugs the female FBI agent, crying, and slowly grabs that agent's gun, puts it to her mouth, and fires the shot, killing herself.
And the
that's-
baby.
That's the credits.
That and the baby. So
Yes.
that's 2 kills.
Yes, I know.
Andy, on a scale of 4 Brian Austin Green sex dolls to 9 Brian Austin Green sex dolls, what would you give this?
Oh man, this is a solid 8.
I'm going to give it a 7 Brian Austin Green sex dolls.
Cool.
Andy gives it 8 Brian Austin Green sex dolls. I give it 7 Brian Austin Green sex dolls. Hey, Andy.
Yeah.
So now that we saw the extra credit of the kill with the pregnant woman, why don't we go ahead and get into...
Well, did you know that Laid to Rest Part 3 was greenlit and was going to start filming, but
Robert Hall died.
yeah, all back
Why
in
could-
2018. Laid to Rest 3 possibly filming with the same guy returning as Chromeskull. Laid to Rest 3's coming, crowdfunding campaign launching. That was all December of 2017. It was going to be called Laid to Rest 3 Exhumed, and that's all I could find about it. Like,
I found out they did graphic novels are coming out that the guy who played Chromeskull is putting up. So they have a 6-series graphic novel based
what do you
around.
think they would have done? Like,
It would have. I don't
would
know.
they have like?
Started right where it left off. Again.
But would they like something to do with the baby that she had? Like,
No,
she was
because-
super pregnant, so
But do
maybe
you think they would have tried to? Oh, they tried to save the baby.
the baby,
But
and
the
then
baby
that
still would have only been like 10 years old. I don't think it would have done. I don't
Yeah.
know, like what it would have done.
So maybe like, oh yeah, but Chromeskull like finds it.
Finds out he has a baby.
You're my son, and
Yes,
I'm gonna raise
I am,
you in
yes.
the ways of
Yes.
touch this
Come
dead
to the
body.
dark side.
Touch this dead body.
Yeah. No. There's so much they could do.
It's called exhumed, which implies digging up a grave. So,
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I know that they had another thing that was brought up in 2020, but COVID, I think, knocked some things off the rails,
Yeah.
as we know. But last I read it, they're trying to come up with a graphic novel series that's already been produced, and I'll post those images. The images they already have some of the draw. It's really cool drawing, like it's illustrations. So,
all right. Well,
yeah, so much to go on. Sorry, we ran a
kill
little
count.
long, but yeah, let's get into the kill count.
all right. So starting with
This'll be good.
The girl.
The girl.
Left over from the first movie. She got away, but not for long. Preston killed her. And then Jess's friend Allie, she was Chromeskull's first kill with the knife. With his lack of depth perception, hit her in the side of the head. Then the roommate, Tommy's roommate Lori, got killed, followed by Detective Holland, your dick shot kill of the week, followed by Detective Tiny, my dick shot kill of the week, and Detective Max, and then our boy Preston. He tried to come at the king, and he missed, and the king killed him. Followed by, I have a question mark by it. Tommy? Did Tommy die? Do we count Tommy? Don't know. Unsure.
0.5. I don't know.
All right. Followed by 3 cops in quick succession, the ones who tried to handcuff Chromeskull. And then another cop who got his face chrome plated.
Yeah, that was good.
And then at the very, very end of the movie, Mrs. Chromio, and Baby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, if I count Tommy.
Wow. I'd say 13.5.
13 and a half.
I don't
know
think
if
Tommy's dead because the way he's still, they would, you know,
Yeah.
And Jess is, the one thing that I didn't like about this movie was the character Jess. She was absolutely not needed. They could have done anything else, a backstory.
Well, it could have just been
She
Tommy.
was so weak.
Yeah, but like Tommy could have been, because
Yeah.
he was a loose end.
I mean, but
and
he
they could have been
doesn't.
that.
But the thing they had to bring in a girl because that's Chromie's type.
It's just weird
That's
because
That's Daddy's type.
we don't understand why.
Yeah. So
Why does he go after these types of girls?
I don't know, but I'm
They
really
didn't
bummed they can't do a
flesh it
Chromie
out.
because I really think that the kills are really creative.
Robert Hall probably
The
had.
storyline was. You
Yeah.
could have, you know, like just like every Friday the 13th, not all of them are good. I mean, fucking part 7 was, you know, a psychic. You know, I mean, that was pretty lame. I thought even though people say part 8 was horrible, Takes Manhattan, I thought it was pretty rad. So we got some interesting, yeah. We're going to go ahead and get into next week's movie.
Yeah.
But we're actually going to take a break because we've got some traveling happening. But
Right.
Andy has put together a best of
We'll throw out,
/U.
yeah, we'll throw out a best of episode, and I'm gonna edit together a few of those so that we have them in case we do have to suddenly take a break.
But it'll be fun. So just kick back. Here's some of the greatest moments that we think you'll enjoy at /U.
Really good primer or taste of what we do if you have somebody who's never heard us.
Yeah.
Listen
Send
to
them along.
We did a best of season 5 a while back.
Yeah.
That's always a good intro.
Yeah.
You just get a sense of the tone of the show and the types of things we talk about and how hilarious we are together. So, yeah.
Hey, so
And then we'll be back with a new movie.
We'll be back with a new movie. This one is 2 minutes longer than what we usually watch. 1 hour, 32 minutes from 2006.
Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Yes.
The next great psycho horror slasher has given a documentary crew exclusive access to his life as he plans his reign of terror over the sleepy town of Glen Echo. Very
love this.
interesting.
Like we saw with our friends in Texas made.
Yeah.
The black serial
Axe murdering with Hackley.
Yeah, Axe Murdering Hackley, kind of similar to that.
Yeah.
Also,
Unmasked Part 25.
25 and a half, yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of the same thing where you get that behind the scenes look. So I'm interested. I like that kind of approach. So I'm really excited to see this. I've never even heard of the movie, so I'm glad we found it. I'm really glad we stepped out of our genre. I know it's been a while now, obviously, but I really like that we're exploring so much more campy, slasher, sometimes unforgotten movies. So this is really fun.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to fuck shit up in Peoria in
I
2024.
think so. That's going to be a blast. So follow us on Instagram, /U_podcast. Check out the website, /UPodcast.com. Email us, /UPodcast@gmail.com.
And OnlyFans, /U_boobies.
Tell your friends, and that's how we grow. And give us a like and all that stuff.
Smell my fingers.
All of those things. Until
Yes.
next time, class dismissed.
Bye-bye.